A university student on her way to a friend's house. A woman from a village turned away by authorities when trying to report her abuse. A teenager who went to a study group and never returned. There are a few of the 1,627 women who are known to have faced sexual violence in Bangladesh in 2020. The real number is likely to be far higher. While most cases of sexual violence take up little more than a column on page 3, these women inspired mass protests in my country. Demonstrators came out to demand justice and to end the culture of silence that shames women for reporting their abuse. Bangladeshi news media covered these protests. It was the first time in my life that I saw reports on gender based violence, not tucked away in the back pages, but on the front page of every newspaper, sometimes as the lead story. Yet, these are some of the headlines we printed during that time. Powerful images of women demanding their rights shared space with these tone deaf illustrations. How did we get it so wrong? After I came to the Reuters Institute, I was alarmed, honestly, as a Bangladeshi, a little bit relieved to find that it's not just us. Whether it's British, Brazilian, or Indian media, journalists across the world are still sensationalizing stories, painting women as helpless victims in isolated incidents, and failing to talk about the systemic inequalities that lead to gender based violence. Out of every 10 stories written on this topic, 7 to 9 are still reinforcing gender stereotypes or failing to challenge them. How do we make this right? Our journalism needs to be survivor centered. It needs to be trauma informed, and it needs to make clear that gender based violence is a human rights violation and a public policy issue. And we don't need to figure this out on our own. There is a wealth of resources already available on this topic. The only challenge left is winning the will to change from those in power. Gender diversity in newsrooms, particularly at the top, leads to gender sensitive news judgment. Yet, only 21% of top editors are women. At the current pace of change, it will take us another 67 years to achieve representation in newsrooms. We have the tools, the language, and the way to manage change that will contribute to the fight against gender based violence. One question remains: how much longer are we willing to wait?